I always liked games such as The Binding of Isaac, Spelunky, and Slay the Spire. I enjoyed the infinite replayability, the challenge, and the depth. So I thought, how hard could it be to make one? Actually, really difficult. It all started back in April. My idea was to combine the best parts of games like the original Legend of Zelda, Spelunky, and The Binding of Isaac in the setting of an alien planet. The first thing I did was make the player move, which was pretty simple, and I definitely didn't scrap it later or anything. I also added trees and rocks, because trees and rocks are cool. Next, I knew I wanted this game to have randomly generated levels, but how would I do that? Well, I decided on a system a lot like how Spelunky generates levels. I would split the level up into a 4x4 grid, and each tile on the grid gets its own assortment of stuff placed on it, based on a layout that I made. And the plan was for me to make a bunch of layouts, so that all the tiles would get different layouts, and the level is unique each time. To make this even better, I added a path through the level, so that there's a clear start and end. The first thing from that idea I added was the path through the level. It's a pretty simple thing to add in, and I definitely didn't spend like a week working on it or anything. So, a week later, I added layouts into the game. First, I needed a way to build these layouts, store them, and generate them in the level. I got a layout builder working, and I saved the layouts to array files. Then, in my level generation code, I brought those array files into my game and placed stuff into the level based on the layouts. Next, I made a bunch of new things to go into my game. Walls, bushes, thorns, water, which you can swim in. Pretty cool. And there's also this poison water which you can swim in. But it damages you. Oh wait, how is it supposed to damage you when you have no health? So I added health into the game. You still can't die, but there is health, it's there. Now, the game was coming along and levels were being generated, and there was a lot of new blocks, but there was still a lot missing. So I added locked doors, the perfect thing to bring meaning to my game. I also added keys. Then you can actually unlock the doors. And I added chests, which can be unlocked by keys. But the chests are only giving you keys right now, so I need to add some more stuff. I added coins, which can be spent at the shop, which I still haven't added for some reason. And the last collectible I made was bombs. Bombs are pretty cool because they can blow stuff up. And also... Oh no! I set the forest on fire! Yeah, you could do that with bombs too. Now, let's face the truth. At this point, my game had bad art. So I got a sprite and I made a bunch of new pixel art for my game. This new art required more than just replacing the sprites. I also needed to add a tiling system for the water, poison water, and walls, because otherwise they would look kind of bad. I also realized I needed variation in the sprites because they look weird when they're all the same. So that was cool and all, but my game is still missing something. That's right, a gun that faces towards the mouse. After doing a ton of complicated math, I figured out how to get this amazing looking gun to actually face towards the mouse and have bullets come out the end of it. Okay, but my game was actually missing something, like a big thing. Enemies. Yes, at this point I finally added enemies into my game. So I made some art for this enemy. It's a yellow guy that doesn't look like Pichu. Stop calling him that. And he just kind of walks around until he sees you and starts chasing after you. Then he starts attacking you. But he can't go around walls. So I had to add pathfinding in, which was actually more complicated than I expected. And now that we have enemies into the game, it is very laggy. Like, this is barely running on my computer. So I had to do some optimizing for like a month, or maybe 2 because I was procrastinating. Now the game's running pretty good. During this time, I also made the game pixel perfect, because when pixels are perfect, I am happy. Now that I was done with that, I had noticed that my game just felt flat. So I added shadows, and it actually made the game a lot better. Shadows are nice and all, but it's time for some real content. I finally added one of the core features to my game, upgrades. So, first, where would the upgrades go in my level? I edited my level generation code to choose one tile next to the path and place an upgrade there. I made some unique layouts with upgrades on them for this tile, and now there's a place for upgrades in my level. But the only problem is that I haven't actually made any upgrades yet. So I got to work and I made some basic upgrades like gun parts, healing fruit, scope, and big mushroom. Now we have these upgrades, but I'm getting kind of sick of testing them on the same enemy. So I made a new enemy. It started with the art. I don't really know what he is, he's just some alien dude, but I wanted to make this guy different somehow. So I made him shoot at you. He works pretty well, except for sometimes he just runs away. Next, I decided to add even more upgrades to my game because upgrades are good. I made some sketchers that make you go very fast, made a jetpack that makes you fly, and also made a laser pointer attached to your gun. Now, With that all done, the game was in a pretty good state, so I decided to make a YouTube video about it, and here we are. That is all the progress I made in the last 7 months. And don't worry, it won't take 7 more months to make another video. Hopefully. Thanks a lot for watching. See you next time.